Welcome to episode 19 of Tales of Yarnia. My name is Hannah and I'm coming to you from Cheltenham in the UK, which is where I live with my partner Jimmy and our yellow Labrador Jonah, who you might have seen just then. He always likes to try and climb on me whenever I set up the podcast. He's just coming back now. Literally, as soon as I sat down to start podcasting, he went and got his really loud squeaky toy and charged around with that. So I had to take it off him because you guys don't want to hear that throughout the whole podcast. Anyway, where was I up to? Yes. Ooh. Where'd you get? Sorry, he is right here, but I don't think you can see. Good boy. Yeah, I probably should encourage him to do that. Anyway, social media wise, you can find me as Yarnia Designs on Instagram and Ravelry. And we also have a podcast group on Ravelry, which is called Tales of Yarnia. It was called Yarnia Designs, but I changed the name to Tales of Yarnia to make it easier. And hopefully that's less confusing, because I couldn't remember what I'd called it. So... sorry, that's just Jonah yawning. He's just lied down here by my chair, so that's a good sign, hopefully. Anyway, we've got a little bit of admin stuff. I've currently got a knit-along going on, which is the Hohi Locatelli knit-along. And that's basically where you can knit any of Hohi's patterns. And there's a deadline of, I think I've put the 30th of September. So we've still got quite a while. If you're not already joining in and you want to get joining in. So, yeah. We have got a couple of prizes. I think I went over one of the prizes last episode, which is a lovely project bag from Conchetta. Of Butternut Handmade, and then I've got a couple of things from Hikari Handmade this episode to show you. I'll show most of it later on because part of it is now acquisitions. So, the other thing which I've got to announce, which is really exciting, is the release of a new pattern. If you've been watching the podcast, you will know what they are. It's also my only FO that I've got to show this week, so I'll just show you them now. They are the rose hip socks, and here we go. Got them both on sock blockers, make it easier to see. So I've got two socks now. I think I was halfway through the last one, the last time I recorded. I'll just turn the pattern around so you can sort of see. I'll just do this. So along the top of the sock is this sort of rose hip pattern, There you are. So it's twisted stitches and cables, and then you have little bobbles as well in the middle there. And then there's this sort of textured section on each side, and that's also on the back of the sock. So yeah, I'm really excited about these. I think it was released on, I released it on Saturday, just gone. So it's been out for a couple of days now, and there is a discount code which will be valid until the end of Sunday, I think I've decided, just to allow a bit of extra time for people that aren't on Instagram and sort of rely on the podcast episodes for updates. And I think the code is rosehip20. I'll write it on the screen here. So yeah, 20% off at the moment. And I'm really pleased with these. I really love the colours of the yarn as well. I used Stranded Dye Works for the main colour, and that's on the BFL base, which I think is the Ford base. And what's the colourway? I think it's Sugar Plum is the colourway. And then the toes and heels I did in Fondant Fibre. Is the yarn dyer. I don't know if she still dyes yarn or not. I don't think she's had an update for a little while, but she's still on Instagram. And the colourway is Jasmine Scented Evening, and it was leftovers from my Zweig sweater, so I was really pleased to be able to use up some waste yarn, or leftovers, for heels and toes. So, oh, I did forget to mention, I have included, I created some tutorial videos. Both, I did a left-handed version and a right-handed version, and the links to that are in the pattern, but it's also just on my YouTube channel for anyone that's interested. That's specifically for the bobbles within the pattern. So yeah, really pleased with that. If you're interested, go check out my Ravelry store. That's them. I forgot to tell you what I'm wearing. I am wearing a handmade knitted item today, and it's the, it turns out I've been saying it wrong this whole time. I've been calling it the Tecna, and it turns out I think you're supposed to pronounce it the Tenya. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. I've shown it on lots of previous podcasts because I wear it so much. I really should make another one because I love it so much and I get so much wear out of it. Because I wear it all year round. I wear it in the summer, just like this, and then in the winter, I'll just layer cardigans and things over it. So, Jonah, you're a bit in the way, please. Oh dear, you need to settle down. Anyway, so yeah, this is the Tenya by Caitlin Hunter. So yeah, I'll include links to everything I talk about just in the down bar, all the notes and links. So yeah, done my only FO. So it's on to whips in a second. Oh, I didn't give you a weather update. I think last time I recorded it was really, really hot here in the UK. And it has cooled down a little bit, but it feels quite humid at the moment. It's really cloudy today, and yesterday it rained, and I was so excited. I was sat up in the spare room, which I sort of use as a craft room, and I've got the desk right by the window. So I was just sat knitting at the desk and watching podcasts, and then it just started absolutely chucking it down with rain. And I was so excited. I just love because I can see into the garden and into the park, which is behind our house, and there's lots of trees and things. So I just really enjoyed watching that. So yeah, that was really fun. I quite like the rain. I'm not that much of a sun. What do you call them? People that like the sun. Well, I'm not one of them anyway. I don't really like sun and being hot. I'm so ready for autumn to arrive, and I know some people aren't and would like to keep the summer going on, but I've had enough of it. I just want autumn because then I can wear all my hand knit sweaters. Not that I have that many, but I've got one which is nearly done, which I'm about to show you. Sorry, I just went off on a bit of a tangent, but I seem to do a bit of a weather update every episode, so... Anyway, right. On to the knitting. So, right, this is my first acquisition, and it is as huge as it looks. This is from Hikari Handmade. And she so kindly sent some project bags and a few other little goodies, which I will show later. But yeah, that's her label. It's gorgeous. I think it feels like cork, the label. I absolutely love it. But yeah, she sent a couple of goodies for me as well, which was so, so lovely. So the first one I've got is this gorgeous, huge sweater-sized project bag, and I love the drawstring rope as well. It's so thick and substantial. It's just like really sturdy and strong. And already, unfortunately, I've got this covered in dog hair because Jonah seems to like it as well and tries to use it as a pillow if I accidentally leave it on the sofa. So, living in here, I'll go into more detail about the bag I think later in acquisitions, but living in here is my portage. There we go. And I think last time I showed this to you, I was on the sort of neckband that goes all the way down to the end of the cardigan, all the way up the sides and around the neck. I'll show you because I've finished that bit now. And I am onto the sleeves, and I have never been so excited to be on Sleeve Island, because for this project that actually means I'm near the end. Normally you feel like, oh my god, I've still got 2 whole sleeves to do, but with this it's like, wow, I've only got 2 sleeves to do, because I think this is used. I bought 8 skeins of DK weight yarn, so 800 grams, and I've used 6 of them now for the rest of it. So I've only got 2 skeins left to knit. So really, I'm about 3/4 of the way through the sweater. So anyway, I'll show you what it looks like so far. So this big garter edge is what I was knitting on the last time, and so I finished that. I'm just going to figure out a way to show you this giant this giant cardigan. So I finished that, and I then also, I don't know if you can see, I have also knit the pockets. So that involves an extra layer of knitting, and then I had to seam them to the front, each front of the cardigan. So I have done quite a bit of knitting on this. This has taken up most of my knitting time since I last recorded. It's all I've been knitting on at home really, just because I'm enjoying it so much working with DK yarn, and I really want to have it ready for autumn. So, and I think I'm just channeling all of my love of autumn and cooler weather into this project. So yeah, you can sort of see I've done both of the pockets now, and it is a pretty long cardigan. So if I stand up, you can sort of see these pockets will go way below my hips. I think the sample only comes up to about here-ish. I knit it, was it 4 or 5 inches longer than the pattern called for before I then started the ribbing. So yeah, this is what it looks like at the side. So you have this, on the back you have this gorgeous honeycomb texture. It's like little mini cables, and then you have a cable down the side, and then stockinette and garter. So there's so many different techniques used in this pattern that keep it interesting. And now I'm just onto the first sleeve. So I started, yesterday I seamed the second pocket, and I'm getting all tangled. I seamed the second pocket and then started the first sleeve. So I'll just show you here. This is where I started on the sleeve. My little pumpkin progress keeper. That's from the Corner of Craft. I absolutely love it. And it just makes this knit even more autumnal for me. So yeah, and I'm using a sort of tip or technique that Amy from a Stranded podcast uses, which is she adds a little bulb stitch marker. Oh, I'm sorry, Jonah, am I boring you? That was Jonah yawning very loudly at me, which he does when he wants to go and play outside, which we will get to do later. I'm going to take you on a walk later, so it's fine. But yeah, I use these little bulb stitch markers and add one on every time I do a decrease, so that I can keep track of how many I've done more easily, and then I can match it up on when it comes to knitting the second sleeve. So I am still alternating skeins on the sleeves, just because I don't want one sleeve to end up a completely different colour to the second one. So just because there's so much variation in this yarn, the different skeins of yarn that I got, so it's quite cool how it's working up with these little stripes. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like I know I've got a lot of knitting to do on these sleeves, but it's just like a giant sock, isn't it? So I'm just really looking forward to getting these finished, and I wonder if I'll have this completely finished by the time my next podcast. That would be fun if I did. But I'm not knitting them concurrently. I'm going to finish one sleeve and then do the second one separately. Otherwise it's just going to be so confusing. Alternating skeins. Well, I wouldn't be able to do it actually, would I? Would I? It's going to be so confusing. Alternating skeins on sleeves and knitting two at once. I just can't do that. It's too much. So I'm doing one sleeve at a time. But yeah, I like how it can just fold up like a cardigan now. There's just so much yarn and squishiness. And it smells amazing. So yeah, that's my progress on the portage. And that is probably where you'll see the most progress out of any of my projects. Because, as I said, I'm just spending all of my knitting time on that. So, yeah. Right, I'll just keep that in there. Have another sip of my tea. Again. So, next whip is living in my gorgeous project bag from Elton Woodcraft. I just love it with the trees. Can you see a bit of a theme here? I'm loving everything autumn. This just looks so cute. And living in here is also quite an autumnal project. I should have just called this the autumn podcast, because that's all I'm talking about. Maybe I'll call it the autumn episode or something, I don't know. Anyway, living in here is my shawl design, which I've been working on every break time at work. So I get an hour's break at work, and I eat at my desk so that I can spend my break time knitting. So yeah, I've definitely got my priorities right. And so I've been steadily making progress on this. I can't remember where I was up to the last time, but I think I'm definitely must be at least 2/3 of the way through this cabled border now. It is quite time consuming, but I think it's definitely going to be worth it when I've finished. Sorry, it's blowing out a little bit, these colours. So the yarns I'm using are, the purple yarn is by Travel Knitter, and it's on her Tanami base in the, oh, what's the colourway? I think it might be English Damson, might be this colourway. And then the other yarn I'm using, which I'm using in the stripes and the cabled border, is Eden Cottage yarns, and it's on, oh, what's the base? I think it's got cashmere in it. I can't remember the name of the base, but it's the stone colourway. So in here I'm using, oh, sorry, I just banged the table. So this cable, it's looking a bit scrunched up at the moment because it will need blocking a little bit. And I also haven't finished, there's going to be another section of purple along the edge of here, just a little border. So yeah, this is what it's looking like so far. So I'm not, it doesn't look like I'm much further on it, but I have done quite a bit more of the cabling. I think I put in this little progress keeper. Don't know if you can see. I put that little progress keeper in. I think at the start of my set of shifts, so that was 4 days of my break times. So I must have done at least twice that since I last spoke to you. But you can sort of see more now how it will look when it's finished. So yeah, I think this will be a really, really lovely shawl for autumn. I think, I don't know how long it'll be till I'm test knitting. I'm thinking hopefully a couple of weeks. I know I said that last time, but then I got carried away with the socks. I can only really think about one design at once. Or I can only really work on one design at once, just because it's a bit more intense and needs a bit more brain power when I'm working on a design than when I'm working on just my sort of like fun knitting or my hobby knitting. I mean, I really enjoy working on my designs too. They are really, really fun, but I just need to pay a bit more attention when I'm doing that, so yeah. So hopefully it won't be too much longer until I can write up the pattern and get that out to testers. I think I've got one tester lined up already, but if there's anyone else that's interested, please let me know. You can either send me a message on Instagram or, yeah, that's probably the best way, just send me a message on Instagram. So, yay! So, yeah, that's my shawl. Oh, I meant to say, I need a name for this pattern and I can't think of one. So I was going to ask, actually, if anyone can think, if you've got any ideas of names for this pattern, please comment below, because I'm really struggling. I just can't think of the right name for it. I do really love it though. that really bad of me to say? But, yeah, I'm just struggling. I feel like it needs to be something cosy and autumnal. Especially because of the cables, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, if you've got any ideas, please let me know. Because I'm struggling with that one. Normally I don't really have much of a problem thinking of names. And that one I just can't think of something that makes me think, yeah, that's the one. So, yeah. Any ideas? Comment below. Okay, I've got one more whip to show you. So, here we go. And this is living in my Mrs. Brown's bag. Just this gorgeous, it's just so easy because I've got this project in here. I've got 5 different colours that I'm working into it. So it's just easy to have this open bag that you can fit all of the skeins in and just, you don't have to try and fit them in a certain way, it just all fits as it is. So living in here is my fading point, which is, I haven't made that much progress on, so I'm sorry to disappoint you. And I'm in the middle of a row. But I suppose it doesn't really matter with this because it's sort of a triangle point anyway. So here is my fade so far. I think I have talked through most of the yarns before, but I'll run it through again just because I think we've got some new subscribers recently. So this first colour is Ushita, I think is how you say it, and I think that's the Cry Wolf colourway. And then I fade into, oh, who was this? Leading Men Fibre Arts, I think. So that's this colourway here, and it's a Stranger Things colourway. So it's called the Upside Down. Yep, it's called the Upside Down. And then it fades here into House of Alamode, which is just here. And that's the Antique colourway. And then I'm just fading in, I've just started fading in up here into the, I think it's Labiana May, and it's the Peanut Butter and Jelly colourway. So I've not done a full section of that yet, I'm just fading that one in. And then I've got one more colour, which I will be fading in after that, and that is Ushita as well. I can't remember the name of that one, I think it was Ella La. Can't remember. Sorry, I'm rubbish. I'm a very bad podcaster. Oh, I just nearly dropped in my tea. Yeah, I'm a very bad podcaster. But I love this colour, so I can't wait to fade that one in as well. I forgot to say, this is a pattern by Hohi Locatelli, and this is my sort of, well, not entry for the cowl, but this is my contribution, me joining in with the cowl. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm so behind my friend Becky. It's Becky of the Bird Box podcast. She is also knitting the fading point in sort of similar purpley colours, and she's knitting the 2 sort of longest parts of the shawl concurrently. So she's knit basically twice as much as I have. And I feel like I'm letting the side down. But yeah, you should definitely go check out her podcast as well. She podcasts with her sister Claire, and I think it's her sister's husband, John, and he dyes yarn under Mr. B's yarns. So their podcast is really, really fun, and they knit some gorgeous things. And I'm a bit in love with Becky's fading point. So yeah, I just love how this fades. So yeah, I'm just not making that much progress on it because I haven't been knitting on it. Not because I don't like it, because I absolutely love working on it and it's such a relaxing knit. But just because I feel like I need to get the designs done, and I've been trying to just focus on a couple of projects at once, so everything else has sort of taken a bit of a back seat. I think I'm probably not going to be working on this now until I finish my shawl design, because I don't really knit on two sort of like objects of the same variety at once, so I don't usually work on two shawls at once, if that makes sense. Whereas working on a DK weight cardigan and a fingering weight shawl, I think breaks things up nicely and gives you a bit of variety. So when your hands sort of feel like they're getting tired of working on one, then it's an interesting switch. So yeah, those are all of the things that I've made progress on. So then I've just got a couple of acquisitions. Right, so as I was talking about earlier, the lovely Hikari of Hikari Handmade has sent me an absolutely gorgeous package. She sent this huge parcel, which was so generous, and I was just absolutely blown away when I received it and opened it. I just kept pulling things out of the parcel. I was like, oh my god, and there's more. So thank you so much, Hikari. It's so lovely of you, and I'm just so excited to be able to share some of the lovely things that you've collected as well, and that you've made. So the first thing she sent me was, she did send 2 of these gorgeous project bags. One is the blue, which I have already claimed for myself, and I've covered it in Jonah's dog hair, so no one wants it. The other one is this gorgeous magenta, and it's the exact same size. It's just folded down. I didn't want to take it out of the packet because I want it to stay in nice condition. I mean, I don't let Jonah go near anything that's going to be a prize anyway. It's all out of his reach in my craft room, so to try and minimise the sharing of dog hair. But yes, she's sent this gorgeous project bag, and you get some little sweets and this gorgeous little teapot progress keeper as well. So I'm so excited. It's just so beautiful, and it just feels so well made as well, so sturdy. Oh, there's a tea in there as well. She sent a really cool selection of different teas, and most of them are gone now. I mean, most of the ones she sent for me are gone now. But I will be sending, obviously there's one included with the project bag that will go out to the prize winner. I'm not stealing that. Excuse me. And then she also sent a couple of skeins of yarn as well, which is she got on, I think when she went on a trip to Montana. She went on holiday there, and she picked up 2 skeins of yarn from Montana, which are absolutely gorgeous. And there's one for me and one to give away on the podcast, I think. So the first one is by Big Sky Yarn Co. Their label is there. And this is on the Sundance sock base, which is 75% merino and 25% nylon. You get 400 yards per 100 grams. And the colourway is Band of Horses. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It's just beautiful. Look at that. I love the variation in it as well. It's sort of It is sort of a tonal, but you can see this gorgeous variation. Beautiful. So thank you so much, Hikari. That was gorgeous. I think I will be including that one as the prize for the podcast. So, and then this one I think I've decided to keep myself because I love it so much. I was really torn. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to keep because I love them both so much. And this one is by Farmer's Daughter Fibres. And that's the tag there. And it's on the squish fingering base, which is 100% superwash merino. You get 428 yards per 100 grams. The colourway is Lonesome Dove, which is just such a lovely name for a colourway. It's these gorgeous, I think you can tell here I've gone with the most autumnal colourway. These gorgeous browns and greens. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I just love it so much. And it is so squishy. And it's both of them smell so sheepy. I love them. They're gorgeous. So yeah, I think I am going to keep this one for myself, if that's okay. But this one, it was so difficult to decide. So yeah, this one will be up for grabs in the Hohi cow, along with the project bag. I don't know if they'll send them together or if I'll send them as separate prizes. I suppose it depends how many people enter finished objects as to how many prizes I want to give away. Because it'd be nice to have, I think it goes really well with the project bag. If I just hold them together, I think that would go really nicely as one big prize for someone. I might do that. So, yeah. So, oh, she also sent some really, really gorgeous, really yummy chocolate, which was coffee chocolate. But that's all gone now, so I ate it. Well, I didn't just eat it myself. I did share it with Jimmy. But I probably ate most of it myself. So, oh, the sun's come out now, so it's probably messed up the lighting a bit. I look like I'm a ghost. I'm glowing, but not in a good way. I'm like glow in the dark. Oh, that's my normal face colour, and then that's just happened. But I'm near the end now. There's no point trying to change anything. Oh yeah. So last acquisition was something I treated myself to, which is a skein from the Wool Barn, and I've never bought anything from the Wool Barn before, so I was so excited to finally be able to get a skein from them. This is their twist sock base on the what was it? Oh yeah, it's 4-ply sock weight yarn, and it's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon, and it's so squishy. So you get 100 grams is 400 yards, and it's in the Beachcomber colourway. So let me just move the ball band a bit so you can see a bit more of the variation. It's just so pretty and delicate, and I just think this would make a really gorgeous pair of socks, maybe for a design at some point. I always think that about every skein of yarn I get. Oh, it would make a really good sock design. Or it'd be really nice in a shawl as well, because it's so squishy, paired with something else. I don't know. We'll see. It's not like I really needed to treat myself, but sometimes you just can't help it. So yeah, these sections of blue, and then the little speckles, just beautiful. Absolutely love it. I'm so excited to cast that on at some point. My stash is slowly growing, so I need to work through it a bit. And I don't think that's going to be helped this week. because I'm going to meet up with Becky, who I mentioned earlier from the Bird Box podcast, and our friend Kate, who is also from the sort of Bristol area. And I'm going down there to meet them at Alternate Universe, which is I think it's a yarn shop run by Kim. I think she's Kim Smith Happy on Instagram. So I'm really, really excited to go there because I've not been before, but it's been on my list of yarn shops to visit for quite a long time because it's only about an hour away from me. So it's not a huge journey, hugely out of my way to go. So I'm really excited to go there. I think she specialises in ethically sourced and locally sourced products. So it'll be really, really exciting to have a look around there and hopefully come back with a couple of treats. So yeah, I'll try and film some of that when I go, if that's okay with her, and yeah, film some of the trip down. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to be on a yarn diet this week because I'm going to a yarn shop. I can't go to a yarn shop and not buy anything. So so that's on Friday that I'm going there. I think today is Tuesday, so it's a few days away. But I'm so excited. I think that's about all I've got to talk to you about this episode. I can't think of anything that I've missed. But yeah. So I hope you all have a really lovely couple of weeks until I speak to you again. Thank you so much for watching. It means so much to me. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe because that sort of helps to get my video out there and seen by other people who are into knitting podcasts. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it. If you like it, then click the like button. I hate doing that. I hate talking about like promoting myself, but yeah, sort of have to. Anyway, right. Have a lovely couple of knitty weeks and I'll speak to you all again soon.